Hey everybody, I'm going to do a quick review of this knife here. This is the CRKT Buku, and I think the best way to introduce this knife is like this. If you told me pick up this knife, mechanically there's nothing wrong with it. Everything works just fine with this. This knife is awesome. I love the blade. I love the way it feels in hand. And just from that aspect of it, this knife is great. I mean, it's a little bit heavy for EDC, but that doesn't bother me. Y'all know I can take a heavier knife. That's not a problem. So as far as just the way it feels and the blade, I love it. But that is not where it ends, unfortunately. Not that it's horrible, but it's just not what it could be, I guess. So let's get on into this. You got about 3 3/4 inches of 8CR 13 MOV, just about 3 3/4 there, and you got a really cool kukri shape on this thing. You got stainless steel handles, and thank the knife gods there's open construction, because if not this would be even heavier than it is. And it flips open crazy good. Check that out. Well, let me grab the scale real quick. Alright, let's just check the weight out real quick before we get into anything else, so that you kind of have an idea of what we're looking at here. I want to talk about weight. Yeah, about 7.7, 7.69. So it's a little bit hefty, but it's not too bad, especially for the usability of this blade and the way this handle feels in your hand. You don't feel like it's overpowering. It's not even as humongous as, say, like a Cold Steel extra large folder or something like that. It just feels good, flicks out nicely. I think it's running on bearings there. Yeah, got some bearings in there. You see that? I'm careful around this blade. I sharpened this thing up a little bit, and it is sharp as sharp. So you got the stainless steel frame lock. Locks up pretty nicely there, and it closes up nicely, very well centered there. Got a nice substantial lanyard hole, which is cool. Unfortunately for the left-handed folks in the audience, it's a right tip-up clip only, but as you can see here from left-handed Momo, it is not that big of a deal to use left-handed. So you gotta stick it in your pocket left-handed. I think you'd be alright. Definitely openable and usable as a southpaw. You got a little bit of a impression here where you can kind of choke up, get you a little bit of in close, intricate work. Of course, the modified Spidey oval thing here, so that works actually pretty well, even with my chunky thumb tips here. I don't have any kind of problems getting in there and getting this thing open. Let's see, anything else we need to look at? Bearings and frame locks and open construction. Stainless steel frame. Alright, let's get into, well, let me talk about I was going to compare it to something, and I was going to compare it to maybe the Raja 3 or something like that. And I just couldn't find the right blade shape. This thing is just a really impressive blade shape, and I like it. And I couldn't find anything that really compared. Maybe if y'all can think of something, but just the way that thing hoops around, kind of like that little arch there, it makes it really, really useful. And if you look at that brisket video I just did with this thing had no problem going through denim jeans and right into the meaty part of Mr. Brisket there. Now I'm going to get into the things that bother me about this knife. And it's not, here's the deal. I can't recommend it just for a couple reasons. And you let me know if I'm making a big deal of it, if I'm being all snowflakey with my knife selection. But there are 3 main reasons that I really can't recommend this. Now that's not saying I wouldn't buy this again, because I would. Especially I bought it around 35 bucks. 35 bucks, I'm buying this all day long because I like it. However, there are some issues. Number one, it's got a tiny bit of a rattle to it that I can't seem to. I'll shut up so you can hear it. Can you hear that? And it's not noticeably blade play, but there is a little bit, and I don't know if that's going to break in when the lock breaks in a little bit more, because when I push over the lock just a little bit, just barely squeeze, all that goes away. So maybe once this lock breaks in, so the rattle will go away. So that's just a minor deal, because there's no rocking back and forth. There's nothing back and forth. It's just front and back. So, all right, that's a minor deal there. Here is one of the bigger things here. Now let's see if I can do this without jamming this up. See that? That's an issue. You can actually open this thing by the blade tip with your fingernail. Now that being said, I'm jamming my thumb as hard as I can into that. Well, I hope this doesn't go crazy on me. Alright, I'm jamming it as hard as I can, and it's not poking me or cutting me. So see, you can see where the tip of that thing kind of gave me a little indentation there. But it didn't poke or anything, but it will. You can't catch it with your thumbnail, so that's kind of bothersome. And also, you'll notice this is the third problem. There you go. That's all the detent this thing has. Like, barely any detent. Which is cool if you have any kind of arthritis in your thumbs like my dad does. I'm actually going to give him one of these because he likes the knives that you can open with just a little flick of the wrist, or a little drop of the wrist, which puts you right into a good position to take out a room full of bad guys. But a lot of people, oh, let me stab my table here. A lot of people are going to have a problem with that, and that's hardly any detent at all. I mean, let's see. Check that out. I'm just barely going to take my fingertip and flick it. See if we can get this thing open. That might be an issue for some of you people, and I may got a bad one. I mean, I don't know everything about all the Bukus that came out in the world, so if you have one of these and it's not like this, let me know. And I will rewrite this and redo this and try to give me one in hand that actually has a decent detent, because if this had detent, this would be awesome, because it's not going to affect really, actually it's going to affect it positively. When you break that detent and you hit those bearings, it's just going to thwack right open. And right now it opens with no problem. So a little bit more detent and this thing's just awesome. So let me know what you think. Is yours better on the detent? I tightened this down. I know what y'all are thinking. We'll just tighten it down. I tightened this as far as I could, and that thing still moves like this. So maybe there's something in there that I'm not doing right. But I tried to tighten it down as hard as I could. Still got a little bit of that rattle. But I don't think, it's not a safety issue with the blade play. I'm not worried about that. So that's the one minor issue, and then the two other issues kind of increasing in importance there. See what I'm saying? I don't know how dangerous that would be. Like I said, I jam that finger in there. Let me jam my finger in there and see if I can't cut it for you. Alright, see? You can see where I got the blade, but it's not deep enough to cut me, so that's kind of a personal choice there, what you want to do with that. And if you like the gravity opening kind of knives, this is going to suit you perfectly. Oh, the clip is kind of deep. They said it's a deep clip, but a deep pocket clip. You know, that much is going to stick out of your pocket, so I don't know how deep that is. And with my 9 inches of lanyard, alright, not 9 inches, but you know. But I am going to be, if I give one of these away, I will get another one, because I like this knife a lot. And I might end up giving this away, so let me know what you think. Good for a giveaway, or is it a lawsuit waiting to happen? Alright, so I will put that down here. Like here. Subscribe here. Let me know what you think about this one. Is it too heavy? Is it too loose? Is it just right? It's sharp as heck. It feels great in hand. We saw what it did to the brisket. Overall, I love this knife. I really do. And I've liked it ever since I took it out of the box. But that's just me. I like bigger knives. So let me know what you think, and I will talk to y'all later.